guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy Friday. I'm pumped about today's video. I know I've been teasing this for a while, but it is time that I get back to my reviews. And what I'm going to be doing is monthly reviews. I'm going to be doing individual product reviews. Just know that all the stuff you see me hauling, we're going to be talking about later. So literally, it's going to be a long video. I have this bag. It's like a really nice pull bag, but it is filled up with so much makeup that I've hauled over the past month or so. And I've really been concentrating on using the products so that way I can give you guys a review and let you know my thoughts. Because hey, some products worked, some products really did not work, and I'm going to give you guys my honest opinion because at the end of the day, I am so fortunate to be able to get PR, and I want to thank every single brand that has sent me products to try out and review, and that's why I do YouTubes. That way I can let you guys know what's worth it, what's not, and some things work for some people and don't work for others. So if I don't like a product, it doesn't mean that it won't work for you, but this is just my personal opinion. So yeah, we're gonna dive into this. So before we get started, if you're new, then hello, welcome. Expect lots of these videos if you stay around. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below so you're notified as soon as videos go live on my channel, because I may start switching up my upload schedule a little bit, so you want to make sure that you know when things are going up. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Make sure to click the like button if you're excited about these reviews. And I don't even know what to start with. Let's start off on a positive note. Oh my gosh, I almost ripped a dang hole in my pants. I'm going to start with the product that I have been using nonstop, always and forever. And I'm wearing this alone today, and this is the new Nars Glosses. They came in the spring 2019 collection. This particular shade is in the color Mythic Red, which I have no idea why it's called that since it's pink. I do have it on today. Typically, I do not wear this by itself. What I normally do is I love the Nars. They're like liquid lipsticks. I'll try to link one down below. But I typically wear that first, and then I put this over top. And I cannot explain how creamy this is. Like, it isn't even like a gloss to me. It's almost like a lip cream. And I don't know, like, I've gotten so addicted to it that if I wear liquid lipstick, like, I have got to put this on over it because it just feels so good on the lips. Now, I will say that the wear time is not throughout the whole entire day. So I've been using the liquid lipsticks from Nars and this over top of it. And probably like after lunch and things, I'll notice they'll start to fade away. And by the end of the day, like today, I didn't touch anything on my lips. And when I got home at 5:30, it was like, there was a little bit of lip liner left, but none of the other stuff. So this isn't going to last you a 12-hour day, anything like that. But it's so freaking comfortable. It's probably one of the most comfortable glosses I've ever worn because, again, it definitely reminds me of a lip cream instead of a gloss. And they have tons of different shades, really pretty colors for the spring and summertime. Now, with that collection, they also came out with these. I don't know what these are called. It is a multi-use gloss multi-use. This is in the shade Redemption. And basically what this is like a top coat. It has this like really weird applicator, but it's going to give you, oh, I just hit my tooth with it. It's going to give you just like a little bit more like shine and sparkle to it. It's definitely sparkly. I feel like these are comfortable. Do I think that you actually need them? No, I don't think it's necessary. I don't grab for this every day, but it's nice to put on like a little highlight. If I was going to say one or the other, definitely try these glosses out. I absolutely love them. And again, this one is in the shade Mythic Red. I'm probably going to have to like get more of them because I don't even know how this has stuff left in it. I have used it every single day. I love it. That's why I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to wear the same lip color tonight, but I'll just put this on and not put the liquid lipstick on. But in all of my videos recently, it's this over top of a liquid lipstick, more than likely. So again, that is from Nars. All right, next product is from Makeup Forever. Here is the Makeup Forever HD Concealer. I was so excited about this when it came out because I do love the Makeup Forever HD Foundation. And so I thought, wow, this is going to be so great. They have a bunch of different shades. The one I've been using is the shade 30, which is a little bit light for me. So on the positive note, I really love the applicator. It's super long and it's very bendable and you can get quite a bit of product on. So when you first swatch it, it honestly does look pretty full coverage. But what I've found with this concealer is it doesn't give me enough coverage. So what I end up doing is I end up going in with one concealer and then layering this over top to get my desired like color that I want. It's a really like thin formula, so it's going to blend out very easy. But for me, I really love full coverage, and it's just a medium coverage to me. I definitely don't think it is full coverage by any means. Y'all, the camera already cut me off and I didn't even know what I was saying. But anyways, if you use a beauty blender, basically it's going to shear it out even more. And I've been using a beauty blender lately, so that might be one reason. But I just want something that's always full coverage. Like, even if I blend it out with something, it's still going to give me the coverage that I want, and I don't have to worry about it. I have, again, been using this a lot, but I feel like, as you can see, I've already like used it up where you can see through it a little bit, because it does take so much for me. Now, if you don't need a lot of coverage and you're like super duper dry and you don't want to have to set with powder, then definitely give this a try. Or if, again, you just don't want to set with the powder, maybe you have like fine lines and wrinkles, try it out, because it is something that you aren't supposed to have to set with a powder. So it's just, for me, I did not like it because I just really want a full coverage concealer. Love the HD foundation, but this just didn't work for me. I'll still use it though, because like I said, it's nice to kind of like mix in with other concealers if I want a little bit of lighter coverage. Next thing, I actually totally forgot to haul this for you guys, because as soon as I got it, I actually started using it. This is the new Urban Decay Naked Loaded palette. This is like their new original Naked palette. And I know I'm probably going to get all these comments about how I say naked, because I always get them. But here's what it looks like. I really do like this packaging. It's like cushiony. It feels really nice, but I do kind of like this instead of the velvet packaging. And yeah, I don't know, the design's kind of weird on it. Anywho, here's what it looks like when you open it up. And I will say, I've been getting a ton of use out of this. I've actually been using it like every day for work makeup looks. So what I typically do is I go in with this shade right here, which is one of my most used shades. It's called Boundaries. Now, it does have a little bit of like glitter sparkle in it, but honestly, you can't even tell when you put it on the lids. It is very pigmented, and naked palettes aren't something that I typically grab for. And I love that this one doesn't come with a brush. I don't know, is it just me, but I just feel like it was such a waste of space. So I was excited about that. The packaging's super nice on it. Here's the next shade I typically use. It's in the shade Bucked. And I'm over here like, these aren't the same shades, right? I'm pretty sure they're not. But that is the next shade that I normally use. And I put that in my outer corner. You have this shade Blur, which I actually haven't really used, because for me, I have been self-tanning. Not right now, but that's a little bit lighter. Okay, as far as lid shades goes, I really love this Angel Fire shade. It is really pigmented, and I feel like it's just so pretty on the lids. It's perfect for me for every day. I really love palettes that I can incorporate to wear to work, and this is one. I definitely feel like I like this better than the original one. You also have these two like cranberry shades. Now, I really wish that they would have like picked one or the other, because to me, if you can see, they look pretty darn similar. I mean, they're not the exact shade. One's a little darker, but I don't know. I feel like we could have switched one out and traded it for something else. Overall, I definitely feel like I like this one better than the original Naked, and just the overall packaging, everything about it, I do like better. I feel like I just got in this funk because they had came out with so many Naked palettes that I kind of like strayed away from them. But I've actually been getting quite a bit of use out of this one. Okay, next palette is from Nars, and this is the Nars Exposed palette. This is their new Cheek Spring palette, and you get a total of 6 different shades. I don't know why, but for some reason mine has like this weird shift in it, and when you like move it around, it like sounds like they're about to fall out, but they don't. So with this palette, you get 3 different blushes. So you get like purpley shade, a pink, a coral, 2 bronzers, and a highlight. So first off, the highlight shade is gorgeous, and I absolutely love this Nars formula. It's very creamy. I love that they included 2 different bronzers, because you have one for like lighter skin tones, one for darker skin tones. And then the blushes are just always out of this world. So here are what these shades look like. Overall, I have been obviously enjoying this palette. I feel like this shade right here, the darker shade, kind of pulls a little bit red on me, which is kind of weird. And then the other shades, let me swatch those real quick for you. Here are these. I feel like this is almost even buttery than the palette that they had for the holiday 2018 collection, which I actually kind of wanted to show you guys and compare. So here's this, and if I can get it open, here is the holiday collection. So I'm going to kind of put these, sorry, you can't even hear me. I'm going to kind of put these side by side. As you can see, this It's kind of like the same theme, right? So the differences between these two, and this is kind of why I wanted to review it, is that this palette has 2 highlights, 4 blushes, and it does not have any bronzer. So I do like in the spring one that they included those bronzers because it's nice to kind of have a palette you can travel with, which I will be traveling with this one. It includes everything. What in the heck's on my arm? But what I will say is, do you need both? Right? So here is the peach for the, I'm going to say holiday. And then there is the peach for the spring, and then the pink and purple blush shade. So these are a lot lighter than the holiday one, but they're still very similar, like in the same like kind of color family. So what I would say is that if you already own this, you don't necessarily need to buy the other one. The other one is nice because again, it does come with those bronzers, but you're getting one less highlight, one less blush. So it's really up to you guys, but I have really enjoyed the formula, and it's something that I do find myself grabbing for. It's just easy to use and it's fast. When I'm getting ready in the morning for work, I'm like, okay, I want to be able to grab the least amount of palettes as possible that I can do this look pretty fast and in a short amount of time. I honestly, for the longest time, you guys, never got ready for work. Like, I like my sleep. My job's like 30 minutes away, and I wear glasses every day. So normally I would just do my brows and go out the door. But since I've been trying to really review this, I've been wearing makeup on a daily basis. I really, really want to get better this year at testing out every single thing that is sent to me, because I know that it's hard trying to figure out what to buy makeup wise. And since I do have the opportunity to try out so many products, I can really compare those and tell you if it's worth it or not. So these, I don't think that you need both of them, but if you did not get this palette, this was something I did put in my 2018 favorites because I loved it so much, and I would definitely try it out. Okay, next thing we have is the MAC Art Library, and here is what this palette looks like. So they actually came out with 3 different palettes for this collection. You have this one, you have a cool tone, and then you have like a super bright neon. One thing I wish they would have did is actually put the dang names on the eyeshadows. I hate when companies just send over this little like plastic thing, because you can honestly lose it so easy, and sometimes it gets caught and then like you can't shut the palette, or you shut it up and it's like on the side. Anyways, this is a great travel palette. So you have the nice mirror, and it is right up my alley with the warm tone shades. I saw people getting this in PR, and I'm like, oh, please let me get the warm tones. Please let me get the warm tones, because I don't have any like actual MAC palettes now that I can think of it, like a full palette. I have like the little quad palettes, but nothing like this. This has really brought me back to like my MAC days. So I didn't work at MAC or anything, but when I first got into YouTube and really into makeup, I was so fascinated by everything. And I would go to my MAC store every Saturday and get a makeover and buy products. Like every Saturday I was in there, they were doing my makeup, and I was really just like learning. And some of these shades I feel like are staples. Some of them are new. So like, what am I saying the staple shades are? Samoa Silk, Amber Lights, Embark, Rule. Like those are shades I feel like we all know and love, probably from Jaclyn Hill. And those are in here, but I just think this is nice because even though they're all like warm tones, you are getting like different shades. And me, I like to start at a light shade and build on up. So I'll start with this, which is beautiful. Go into this like lighter brown, mix in a little bit of orange, and then finish off the edge with this darker shade. Like this to me is a color story that I'm in love with. And then you have 5 different shimmer shades. You have a really nice brow bone highlight and really nice lid shades. You can throw some like darker reds, purples in there. But this to me has been something I've actually been grabbing for a lot, especially to do like a darker smoky eye. I really love to mix in purples with my looks, if you guys haven't noticed. It also comes with a really nice size mirror. So this is a really good palette to travel with, and I've really, really been enjoying it. The next thing is the Natasha Denona Pore Vanishing Matte Foundation. And I'm not sure why, but for some reason, this doesn't work well for me. It breaks up really bad on my skin. I'm like going through this weird phase where during the day, like my nose separates so bad. I don't know if it's the primers I've been using or what it is, but for me, it just didn't really stay on all day like I wanted it to. I didn't feel like it really vanished my pores. It is a matte foundation, but it isn't anything that I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot live without it. If you look this up online, it's supposed to be for combination and oily skin, which I am combo and oily, so I feel like that would normally work for me. It says it's a medium to full coverage matte that blurs the pores. But the weirdest thing would happen to me. So when I say break up, like I would put it on and I would go to put concealer over it and start blending that in. And then it would like separate off of my face. It was really weird. I'm not sure. I tried to use it a couple times, but for some reason it just was not working for me. And I love Natasha Denona. Like her eyeshadows are like staple. Honestly, this is probably the only product I've ever tried from Natasha Denona that hasn't worked for me. And I'm so sad about it. But yeah, definitely want to try other foundations. I've heard her, it's like a glowy skin one's really nice, but this one just didn't work out. And I think the other thing is it almost like sits on top of your skin instead of like blending into your skin. But nowadays when it comes to foundation, I know I spoke about this in a couple of videos, but I'm actually going to be working from home twice a week with my daytime job. So when I actually go into work, I am going to be there normally for a long time, and I want to make sure that it's going to give me like a 12-hour wear, because who knows, some days I am actually there for that long. But yeah, it's going to be a pass on this. So sad. Ooh, the next product is from Glow Recipe. You can see I've been using this because there's like a chunk out of the side. I had it like turned over. So this is the Glow Recipe Avocado Melt Sleeping Mask. Oh my gosh, this is like butter for your skin. First off, it comes with this a really nice like plastic thing that you can like scoop it onto your skin. But I know that sounds super simple, but I absolutely love it. I've been using all of my skincare products with it. It is so creamy on the skin. My skin is, again, combination, but in the wintertime, I do get a little bit more dry. And this has been really nice because I'll put it on at night before I go to bed and just like layer it up. And it's like so thick on the skin, but when you wake up in the morning, your skin just feels so moisturized, so hydrated, and I absolutely love it. Glow Recipe has been killing it. Next thing is from Buxom, and I actually have quite a few Buxom products. So I recently started using the Buxom Divine Goddess. This is a highlighting palette. And it is a cream highlighting palette, which typically I don't normally go for creams, but this is so beautiful on the skin. First off, it gives you just this really pretty sheen, but you can really build it up. And I like that for days that I want to go with something that's like natural, like it's not blinding people, but you know, if you shift, you better watch out. This is really nice too in the brow bone because it gives you a really nice highlight. Now it comes with 3 different shades. I typically have been using the lightest shade, but then you have the next one that is more gold. So for me, with my skin tone, I definitely have to go for the lightest. So you have that right there, which you even could use as a base for eyeshadow. And then you have the darkest, which is more of like a bronze shade. So here are these 3 colors swatch. What I've been, again, mostly doing is using that very first shade. But as I get a tan, I'll probably dabble more into this. I've been liking creams more. So I've been using a lot more like cream eyeshadows, cream highlights, cream blushes, things like that. And they can be intimidating, but I really feel like if you have the right tool to put them on with, it can make all the difference. So this one I would definitely check out if you want to try to use creams. It just blends into the skin so nicely, and it's really pretty as well. Now, I also received these Buxom Full On Plumping Lip Cream. Now, for me, when I think of lip cream, I'm just going to put this on a little bit. I normally think of something that's going to be a little more opaque, and these give a little bit of color, but they're like a sheer wash of color. So they'd be really good like if you're gonna run errands, you know, you don't want to have on too much makeup, but you want something on your lips. That would be nice because again, they do give you a wash of color. They are very like intense as far as like the plumping part. They're very cooling on the lips. So sometimes I'm in the mood for that. Sometimes I'm just like, cannot do it. But what I'll say is the colors are really nice, and I do love that they actually match them to blushes, which is the next thing that I'm going to talk about. So they came out with these primer infused blushes, and they do, for me, actually wear longer than typical blushes, and they blend in so nicely to the skin. This one is the shade Havana. Ooh, nah. Okay. Totally not singer. And then this one is Dolly. These blushes, they do stay on for quite some time, and they're super buttery on the skin, so they blend in really nice. I always have the hardest time with blush because I feel like sometimes I can overdo it, but then by the end of the day it doesn't look like I have anything on. So for me, I love the blushes. As far as the lip creams, I like them, but if you don't like the tingly feeling, I definitely don't think that you'll like these because I feel like these are a little bit more intense than some of the other ones that I have from Buxom. But I think in the summertime with like a tan and you just have that on, it's going to look really pretty. So moving on. Okay, next thing we have is the Huda Beauty Matte and Metals. This is like a new formula that they've come out with, and they're pretty expensive. They're like $24. So is this really worth your money? So basically there's two different sides, and it comes with this really nice big applicator. So you have the first side, which is like a cream matte eyeshadow. You almost like want to be careful when you put them on. You can definitely feather them out with like a, not thin, what am I trying to say? Just like with a fluffy blending brush, but you have to work fast because they dry really fast. But as you can see, like you can blend them in so nicely. So they are super duper blendable. Now, I don't feel like that side is necessary because for me, I typically don't just do one eyeshadow shade all over my eye and then one lid shade. Like I always like to do something up in the crease at least. So for me, is it going to be practical? Not really for like every day. This is not something that I'm going to go and use because it does take more time. But what I'll say about the other side is the metal shadow. And I'm pretty sure that maybe like the Stila liquid paints or whatever they're called, I think those retail for around that amount. But here's what the metal side looks like. And for me, the metal side makes it all worth it because it is just so beautiful. And it applies really nice. Let me just, you know what, whatever. Let me just put it on so I can show y'all. Okay, so like, you know, you can really just like kind of go in and maneuver it. Like wipe off your brush. But the way that the brush is that you can really carve out whatever you're trying to do. Like I literally have eyeliner on and I'm carving around the eyeliner. Okay, now tell me this. Look at each side of my eye. Like which one would you rather have? I mean, I know my answer. It's definitely going to be this one. So I feel like even though they are expensive and you really might not necessarily use the cream side, sometimes what I do is I actually put the cream on as a base before I put this on over top of it, which is really nice because you're layering it. But I would love if they came out with double-sided glitter ones because I think they're so nice. Now, a couple of them I feel like don't show up as glittery as others, but it just takes the teeny tiniest bit. So when I do this, I'm actually wiping off. I don't know if you guys can see this. Oh, let me get up in the camera. I'm wiping off the excess around the sides of this. So I'm literally going like this. So that way it doesn't get too much on the brush. But like, look how gorgeous this is. And it's so easy to paint on too. Oh, my hand slipped. But it just, again, it makes such a difference in your eyeshadow look. I don't know what took me so long to get into these like liquid shadows. But what I will say is that the Huda Beauty ones and the Pixie ones are the ones that change that for me. So what I would say is definitely try one out first. I don't think that the matte is necessary for these. It's like a nice little addition. Would I like to just pay half of the price? Yes, I am, again, very thankful for Huda Beauty. She did send these over to me. And I feel like all of their stuff is just always so incredible. But yeah, there are those. I wish I had another one. Let me get another one to show y'all. Okay, so the one I showed y'all is more of like a light nude shade. I'm just so obsessed with how these look on the eyes, you guys. But here's a purple one. This one's called Silk Sombre. Like you can clearly see like how pigmented that is. So what I'll do is I'll take a brush like this and I'll just kind of feather it out and blend it in. So kind of like that. But again, with it being a liquid, sometimes it like kind of feathers out the actual shade. So I don't think that this is necessary as far as the matte side goes, but love, love, love the glitter side. Let me just swatch this one too for y'all. This is called Bubblegum. Look how beautiful. It's so pretty. Okay, I'm done. I'm moving on. Shade is actually something that I just hauled like this past Monday, but I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm going to use it all this week so I can like tell you guys my thoughts on it. This is the Floral Highlight Powder from MAC. This came in their Boom Boom Bloom collection. And my thing was I was so disappointed when I swatched it because it looked like really sparkly on one of the sides. I'm like, oh, it's definitely a highlighter. And then when I went to put it on, it's like a pink powder. So I really tried to use this week, but it just does nothing for me. So I tried to even put it on today and I had to layer stuff over it because I'm like, like, I wouldn't normally just be like, oh, let me get this pastel pink blush. It just does nothing for me. And so again, here it is swatched on the hand, but it fades really easy into the skin. And it doesn't, like, it just looks, I don't know how to describe it. I mean, it's not something I would use for a blush. It's definitely not something I would use for a highlight. I guess if you have a pink undertone, you could probably use this as an under eye highlight, like a highlighting powder. But for me, I definitely wouldn't get it for a highlight because it has no sparkle in it. It's like totally matte. I don't know if I got a dud, but that's what mine looks like. Okay. It's my pleasure palette. Aren't these ColourPop palettes so freaking cute? So here is this one, and I have used it quite a few times. I don't like the shades that have sparkle in them because I don't know. I just never think the sparkle part is necessary. But what I'll say is it's a beautiful palette if you love purples. So I actually went in with this the other day and put it all over the entire lid. And ColourPop shadows are just so good. I love them so much. And I just feel like they keep getting better. But if you want a palette that's inexpensive, like this is $12, but you want something that's going to like give you a punch, this is what you want. This is your go-to. And again, I just feel like everything ColourPop comes out with, it's always quality and it's always inexpensive. So the purple palette, it's my pleasure. Definitely check it out if you like purples. If you don't, I mean, probably not, because it's like all purples. I wish that they would have given us a brow bone highlight in this, because I love palettes that just give you everything, but I'm not hating on it because it's only $12. So I mean, it's fine. You just can't get this quality at $12 anywhere else. So definitely check out It's My Pleasure. Next one we have is the Loreal Unlimited Mascara. Now, when I hauled this, I was so confused because it was like showing it like bent, and all the bend was, it was acting like you could do your mascara two different ways, and all it was doing this. So I will admit, to get up underneath the eyelashes, this little bend is nice, but I'm not used to not having the bend, so it doesn't even bother me. The mascara itself is the mascara wand that's kind of like rubbery and pointy, and I don't know what it is about that kind of wand, but it never does good on my lashes. So I used it the other day. It didn't really give me the volume that I wanted, nor did it separate the lashes like I wanted. So for me, this one's definitely a pass. The Thrive Cosmetics. This is their Instant Brow Fix. It's a semi-permanent brow gel. I didn't even put brow gel on today so that way I could show it to you guys. This is really pretty. So the color is Christina, and it's like a lighter shade. I feel like sometimes, you know, because my hair's blonde and my eyebrows are blonde, but sometimes like the blonde shades look weird on me. I feel like this is so nice to go in and kind of just like lighten up the brows. It has the finest point on it. It's like super duper thin. So you can really get up into those brow hairs and kind of manipulate them wherever you want them to go, which is really nice. And I feel like just because of the color that it is, I'm going to be using this in the summertime because it can really lighten up my overall brow look. I've talked about this before, but I always use the ColourPop brow pencils for the most part. And they changed up the color recently, so it's like a little bit more ashy, which I don't particularly like. But using this over top of it, just giving it like a little bit of a lighter effect, I've really enjoyed. And it does keep the brow hairs in place. So yeah, there's that tutorial and all. You guys, I cannot get over these Huda shadows. Like, I cannot say enough good things. The Pretty Vulgar powder. I actually got this in a boxy charm, and I've been loving it. I don't know if I can see like how far down it is, but it is a nice translucent powder. It's definitely great for brightening up those under eyes. And it works really good, and it keeps you definitely matte. So I've actually been going, it's called Matte About It. I've been going and just setting my entire face with this. And what I've found is my makeup definitely stays a lot more matte and intact when I set it with this powder. I've used tons of translucent powders, and a lot of them I do really like, but this one I don't feel like is drying, and I've been really enjoying it. Okay, highlight. So I did try a Pretty Vulgar highlight. This one is in the shade Glimmers of BS. It's super vanilla, and there's something about it when it's on the skin that it can give this like, I don't know, it's almost like a weird tint, and I don't know if it's because of like the skin tone that I am, but right now for me, like I really, really like it, but I feel like if I was more fair, I would like it even better. I almost want to put it on, but it's really pretty. As far as the formula goes, it really does blend into the skin really nicely. and it does give you like a super highlighted look. I just think the actual shade for me, I wish it was a little more goldy. I love more golden highlights as opposed to like that really light, like silvery. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like a silvery looking highlight. You see? Very silvery. So although I love the formula, and again, I'll probably continue to use it and kind of mix it in with other highlights, I wish just the tone was a little bit different. So I might check it out and see what other colors they have because the formula is really nice and blinding. Another highlight is this Supreme Frost by Jeffree Star. I've been actually dipping into this and using it with it. Now, this is kind of different because even though it's a highlight, it's like glitter almost. It's like a glitter highlight. So I don't feel like it gives you... How am I trying to say this? It doesn't give you like the base. Like, you know how, let me just swatch this one right beside it so you can see what I'm talking about. I've been talking so much my camera died. Okay, so see the Jeffree one is right here and you can barely see it. Like, let me do another swatch of it. And it is really pretty, but it's like, can you see what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all can see. Like, the base of it is not as like thick. It's more sheer, even though it's like glittery. It's just more sheer. It is beautiful in the skin. So what I've been doing is just mixing it over on top of another highlight. So that highlight gives you the base, and then this just kind of like throws in some shimmer and glitter. I feel like I'm at the point where I've talked about so many products, I'm like getting delirious. This video won't always be this long, you guys. It's just because, like I said, I've been like putting stuff back for so long, and there's so much that I had wanted to talk about. Okay, let's kind of wrap this up. Very last product that I'm going to talk about is the Summer Fridays mask. So this is for petal soft skin, smooth out rough days with this replenishing mask. It did make my skin feel really good, but the only thing is it has like stuff in it. I don't know how to explain this besides to put a little bit on my hand. So their first mask that they came out with, the hydrating one, it was just like completely like a clear mask. You just put it on, you can dab it into the skin. But this one you can't really dab into the skin because it has flakes of, is it roses? I don't know. It's supposed to also get rid of dead skin. So this is like almost an exfoliating part, but it has like little things in it. So I like it, but just beware because you aren't going to be able to like dab it into the skin. You're definitely going to have to wash this off, and then a lot of it's going to get on your towel. So it worked good as far as like making my skin feel really good. It's just like trying to get, like, I hate grit on my face. If it were up to me, like all the masks that I would get would probably just not have any kind of grit. I know I need those to exfoliate myself. So I love the Summer Fridays brand. I love like the whole aesthetic with the packaging and everything. Just that particular mask, I don't think I'll be using it as much because I feel like it's more high maintenance, like taking it off, when I would just rather just pat stuff into my skin. So yeah, you guys, that is it for all these products. I hope this video was helpful. Like, please comment down below. Let me know if you enjoyed it. What would you like to see me do different next time? I do need to get a little bit more organized, and as I film these videos, I'm probably going to keep taking notes because I was trying to just remember off the top of my head since I've been using these so much. But yeah, that's it. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.